Set the hook on smallmouth bass and then you'll understand. You gotta get your hands on a Shimano Reel and a G-Loomis round. I bet you like what you feel. Step on the deck, give it a whirl. Hello and welcome to my world.
What's going on Facebook and YouTube Live? Welcome back to another episode of On Another Line Live, where we like to get together, talk fishing once a week on Tuesday. Last week I was not able to be live. I had a lot of stuff going on. Made it to St. Clair this past weekend. Kyle and I went up for 2 days and we caught some fish. We didn't smash them. We're going to talk about that in just a second. We're going to talk about some new products that JB's Fish Sauce is coming out, and you guys are not going to be able to read this, I'm sure of it, but it's JB's Fish Sauce jelly in pinch of garlic. This is tester sizes. These are 1 ounce deals. We're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. But we are going to talk some fishing, do some things, and Mark, yes, Photoshop. Everything is Photoshopped. If I catch it and it's big, it's definitely Photoshopped because I'm really good at Photoshop and not real good at catching fish. Anyway, thanks for joining me, Mark. Anywho, back to the task at hand. Welcome back again to another episode of On Another Line Live, where we like to get together, talk fishing, and lie a lot about catching big fish. Because let's face it, we live in Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and places around here, so we're not catching monsters by any means, but we like to have fun doing it. This past weekend, Kyle and I went to St. Clair, which is my absolute fishery on the planet. My absolute favorite fishery on the planet. I've never been to a situation where I've liked the lake any more than Lake St. Clair, because it seems like the average fish there is 2 pounds plus, so you can absolutely wreck them if you have a good day. So Kyle and I we only go up for a weekend every now and again, just for the simple fact is that it's a pretty good time to catch some fish. And it's easy to get there, especially since Kyle lives in Troy, Ohio, which is about 2.5 hours north west of here. And then it's about another 3 hours from there to Lake St. Clair. So it's not a big deal. It's not a long trip by any means whatsoever. So anyway, I drove up after work on Friday. I got to his house about 7:30, I believe, 6:30 or 7:30. We hopped in his truck, went and got something to eat, and then left his house at 4 o'clock in the morning, which puts us up there at 7 a.m., which is right when it's getting dark or getting daylight. Went to 9 Mile, put in. It was an absolute cluster there. There was I've never seen so many boats in a parking lot in my entire life in Lake St. Clair. It was crazy. I think there was 200 boats. There was people. I got one of the very last parking spots in the parking lot, and it was only 7:30, actually it was a little after 8. It was about 8:15. We get on the water, finally get put in, go out, start fishing around the mile roads where we think they're going to be. We end up catching a few fish. We fished around the mile roads and went to a spot that this exact same week, 3 years ago, Misty and I were there and absolutely came across a spot and wrecked them. And we absolutely smoked them. We had the very first time I've ever been there, which is why I have a really, I love that lake a lot, because we can jump in there and catch fish. But Kyle and I bounced around the mile roads, went down around, probably 13, 14 mile down in there where I've caught a lot of fish. We ended up catching 10 on Saturday, which is not that great for St. Clair, but we had almost 19 pound on our best five, which is not bad. So quick shout out to Bradley Saunders and his buddy Ryan. They were up there too. I messaged him on Facebook, asked him if they were catching them, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, we're not wrecking them by any means, but the fish we're catching are big. So I'm gonna send you my location. Come over and join us." So he did. He sent me his location via a pin on his iPhone. We drove around there, and we didn't catch a single fish while we were there. But those guys absolutely wrecked them. They caught 26 pounds, I think, that day. It was later in the evening. We ended up going to put the boat back on the trailer. It was getting kind of rough. We stopped at a spot that Misty and I caught them at before and caught 3 more fish, mostly on jerk baits. And it was weird because we caught a lot of fish, and they were all different baits. We caught stuff that was jerk baits was the most consistent, but nothing we threw was consistent. I caught 2 fish on an Ed rig. Kyle caught, 1 on a jerk bait. I caught 2 on a jerk bait. We caught some fish on a dark sleeper. I had one come on that. We didn't catch any cranking. Swim bait caught a couple. And then the next day, we end up putting in a Selfridge boat ramp and went to the spot that Bradley and Ryan were fishing the day before. We got there early, guys. I'm not kidding you. We were there an hour before they were and never caught a fish. And they come in there and absolutely smoked us. They caught a ton of fish. And it turns out the difference was we were using 3/8 ounce lead heads on swim baits, and they were using 1/2 ounce or bigger. And we were just getting our baits down there. Like those fish just wanted those swim baits beating off the rocks on the very bottom, and they were hitting it. So it got to the point where I actually found a 1/2 ounce. I talked to Bradley, said, "Hey, we're doing this." So I found a 1/2 ounce jig head that I had, threw it on the swim bait. I was using a 3.5 inch or 4 inch Jackal rhythm wave, and it seems like when you got around rocks and they were there, you could catch them. But just having that little, 1/8 of an ounce difference in leadhead caused us to not catch as many fish as those guys. But I do want to give a shout out to those guys for giving me the opportunity to come over and catch the fish with them. We ended up catching 10 fish on Saturday, 9 fish on Sunday. But the thing about it was we caught 18, 19 pounds on Saturday and had about 19 and a half, close to 20 on Sunday morning, and we quit at noon or 1:30. So you can't really call that a bad day. What's up, Jeff Wallace? Paint Creek was tough. I hear that, man. Paint Creek I have a love-hate relationship with Paint Creek. Paint Creek is a really nice lake. I like it. The slot limit's really weird. I think that's, it's crazy, but it seems like it's coming around. But we went up, had a great time. Got to eat some of the, Jeff. Obviously, I love eating at the river. Here's the thing, guys. If you guys are in my area, you know what the Cider River is. Cider River is the best steakhouse on the planet, in my opinion, but definitely in our area. Jeff actually is one of the head cooks there and does an absolute phenomenal job knocking out some steaks and ribs. If you're in my area and you want to have something great to eat, go down and check out the Cider River. If you see Jeff there on the Smoker's Dab out back, you're definitely going to have a good time because that dude will throw down on some meat for you guys, and he's going to. It's going to be the best meal you've had. I guarantee it. It's a great place. So Cider River down there in Portsmouth. Go check out Jeff Wallace, and he will cook you up a steak that you will not believe. But the reason I was telling you about the St. Clair trip was so Corey Weaver from JB's Fish Sauce and I have been talking about this new product. And as you guys know, the pinch of garlic, the scent is my proprietary scent for here on Another Line. Even has my little logo there on top of it. Right there, you can see by my thing on Another Line. So this is the On Another Line proprietary blend of JB's Fish Sauce. I've been using JB's Fish Sauce for about 6 years now, and I was a huge fan of a couple of the scents. And I've been talking to Corey over the past year and a half or so, 2 years of them acquiring the brand, about creating a product that was strictly my proprietary blend, and that is pinch of garlic. So it is a blend of crawfish and garlic, which are my two favorite things that they have. But the pinch of garlic has been out for an entire year in the mist, the spray mist, the 4 ounce mist that I buy all the time. I absolutely love it. I love it because I can spray it on my baits outside of my boat. I'm OCD about my boat. And I'll talk to you about that in a second. I'll give you an update about my boat. But it gives me an opportunity to spray this fish sauce because it is oil based. It's made from real crude fish oils. So I don't want that on my boat. It is slick. You'll never get it off carpet. So it gives me an option to spray it on the water, on my bait. So one, you're creating kind of like a chum slick on the water with real crude fish oils, not anything artificial. And also it keeps it out of my boat because I'm OCD about keeping it clean. This is a jelly, and it's kind of like a solid. So you can see that I can turn it upside down. It's not going to come out of there. When it gets warmer in the day and this stuff setting out, it will get kind of liquidy. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't try the old, the frosty trick or whatever it is, the blizzard trick from, whatever. I'm not even thinking about it. Dairy Queen, the blizzard thing. If you turn it upside down, you can do that when it's cold. It's fairly warm. This stuff does get a little, little crazy. But what this does, this is a 1 ounce tester size. Again, these are just testers. So we're doing some product testing. You can take your baits, dip it in your hard baits and stuff like that. So you can guarantee that you're going to have this on here. You can physically see it. This is something that I'm really proud to have coming out soon. It'll be on their website as soon as they can get some bigger jars like this. And this is going to be something that you guys can pick up on jbsfishsauce.com. And those of you guys that are new, just joining, you can use the promo code OALL. That's the letter OALL on Another Line Live 20 to save yourself 20% on jbsfishsauce.com. This episode, really quick, is brought to you by Solar Bat Sunglasses. You can check them out at solarbat.com. I get a lot of people asking me what my favorite glasses are from Solar Bat, and as you can tell, I still have some on right here. You know, it's fishing season when you can still looks like you have sunglasses on. But my favorite are the cruise frames, and you can get pretty much anything that you want to. You can get pretty much any lens you want, but I like the mirrored lenses to see what's going on with that. So that's my favorite. JB's Fish Sauce OALL on Another Line Live. So that's the letter OALL, and then 20 for 20% off of your entire purchase of JB's Fish Sauce. And Solar Bat, I don't have a promo code, but if you do buy some Solar Bats, drop my name in the comments. I would appreciate it. Anyway, back to the task here about my boat. Let's see what Jeff catch. Caught a 4-pound channel cat on a Texas rig dinger. Wow, big bass with a 2-pounder. That is a tough day at Paint Creek for sure. I caught a giant channel cat there one time too, and it was actually on a Texas rig crawl, and he smoked it, and I thought I had a 5-6 pounder, and ended up being a 5 or 6 pound channel cat. So I was in the same boat as you. Back to my boat. I've been pretty much in the dumps for the past few weeks because my boat's been down. Again, you guys saw the last live show I did. I will want to give a shout out to State Farm Insurance. I've been a huge fan of JB's Fish, I can't think at all. I've been a huge fan of the I got all kind of things happening. Sorry, guys. My dad's calling me. I hear Misty talking upstairs. Anyway, so State Farm, I've been with State Farm ever since I could drive a car. A fellow named Warren Armstead in Ironton, Ohio is my insurance agent, and my insurance agent has been him for years. So I haven't had this is my first insurance claim. I'm gonna knock on wood that I've ever had. So went down, figured that stuff out, showed him the insurance adjuster my damage to my lower unit. They asked me what the price was. Got that quote from Freedom Outdoors in Wheelersburg, which it ended up being a lot of money. Out the door, getting a new impeller and things in it was about $6,300, which is crazy. But as far as I know, the mechanic is there today. He doesn't work there all the time. Comes in from Indiana. Putting my lower unit back together today, probably tomorrow. I'm hoping to get my boat back tomorrow, which I'm super pumped up about. I have some new videos coming out on YouTube here before long, because I'll be doing a quick recap of our trip to St. Clair, talking about the fish we caught, showing you some of the fish we caught and where we caught them at, what we were catching them on. Caught some big fish. Caught one that was right at 5 pounds. 499 was the biggest one of the trip. Bradley Saunders ended up catching one 6'4". That is a hammer. I don't care where you're fishing. 6'4" smallie is amazing size. But hopefully I have my boat back. You guys are going to see a lot more videos coming out. I have a new video coming out in the next couple of days talking about a new medium diver crankbait rig that I'm using, which is a G Loomis IMX Pro 866C DF, which is or CBR DF, which is a deep flex. I had it on the live show last time, but I'm going to do a video showing that stuff. Right now, I've gained about 50 followers since my last live stream, so I appreciate it. Those of you guys have been sharing my content. Big time shout out to you guys. I do have a goal of 4,000 subscribers by the end of the 2021 fishing season, and right now I'm hitting a lull. I need to get about 120 subscribers a month to hit that goal, and it is not happening right now. So again, I'd appreciate if you guys would share my content and try to talk people. Guys, lie to them. Like, this guy knows what he's talking about fishing. I don't care if I do or not. We like to have fun, build a community here so we can get together and talk fishing. I want to thank all of you guys out there that watch my shows that have extended the opportunity for me to go fishing with you. You guys saw Brandon Buckner and I went out. I caught a 6-pounder on his home lake. I've had people that I don't even know message me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or whatever, know that my boat's down and out, and offer to take me fishing with them, sight unseen, not knowing me, from Adam. And I want to thank you guys really, 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 from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys for reaching out and trying to take me fishing. I apologize. I couldn't get with everybody. I hope to have my boat back again, but I just want to know that that's what the fishing community is all about, and I appreciate you guys out there that have been doing that for me. And please don't take it, don't take offense to it if I can't get out and get fishing with you. It's just the way it is right now. I'm trying to get everything going on, but I appreciate you guys for extending the opportunity for me to go fishing with you all. So thank you very much for that. Lake St. Clair, smallmouth, were chewing on pretty much anything you get around. And we were finding these little pods of fish. They were little, wolf packs of fish. And when you get in them, you catch 3, 4, 5 maybe. I don't know if you guys saw the video that Yola Tech posted today about the guy running basically right up on top of somebody fishing him. The guy could have stepped in somebody else's boat and he was fishing it. It was crazy. It reminded me like somebody on the Detroit River that was walleye fishing that was literally that close to him. But, I always call them the St. Clair circles because they're like giant crop circles of boats. You can go, and if you can pretty much there's some like community holes out there, like around Ford's Cove, down around 9 Mile, down on Memorial Park, outside of Harley Ensign. There's about 5 or 6 community holes that you can pretty much go at any time of the year and see a 100 boats stacked on, and that's because the fish are there, which is okay. But it's weird to me to see all these fishing boats, and people will literally drive right up to your boat and cast right with you. And it blows my mind because these smallmouth they're nomadic, and they're going to be traveling around to find fish and forage, especially this time of year. You get them on the beds. Yeah, they're not going to be moving around a lot. I can understand, but still, I feel like that you should have some respect for people and stay away from their boats. So one of the things that I try to do is give people their space. If they're there before I am, even if it's a hole that I've marked and maybe I've even showed this person how to get there, I'm going to give them their room and their respect. If I can cast into your boat from my boat, you're too close, I feel like. And that's just the way it is in any time. So yeah, Metro Park is another good spot that people, there's a lot of people there that, and again, they're all community holes, guys. These are known fish locations where they just stay in, and it doesn't matter what time of year, you're going to be able to catch them. There's also another one out in 17, 18, 19 foot of water, one of the deepest spots in St. Clair that's not in the shipping channel, where fish just hole up in the summertime in the end of June, July, August, even into early September. They hole up out there in the big current areas where the water's coming out of the St. Clair River into Lake St. Clair. They're just there's a big giant bowl out in there that they just, you can find a grass pile or a grass line and you can catch fish. And there's usually a lot of boats on them. With that being said, people do make mistakes. There are times where, I've been fishing close to somebody. Last year it was funny. Kyle and I were fishing the Detroit River down there, right where St. Clair necks down into the Detroit River. And we were fishing, and I set the hook, and I thought I had a fish, and I look over, and there's a guy tucked into the weeds, like he's back there, like lounging out, got his catfish rod out, and it's funny though, he had those little bells on the end of his rods, and I set the hook, and I have his line wrapped up, it was super embarrassing anyway, because I didn't know the guy was there, but when I set the hook, those bells jingled on his rod, and he come out of that brush like there was somebody had set his rear end on fire. And I laughed, man, and I think he got upset because he thought I was laughing at him, or he thought I had snagged his rod on purpose, which that wasn't the case at all. But it was so funny because I don't know if this dude didn't have a fishing license or if he was literally just tucked up in there because it was hot. No clue. But I set the hook, his bells went to jingling on his rod. He goes up and sets the hook, and next thing you know, basically our line's like boing, like out of the water. It was crazy times. Good. It was good stuff. We all, I apologize for hooking his line. I didn't see it was there. But that exact moment, there was a lady probably 100 yards up the bank from us fishing with what I think was chicken liver, to be honest with you. She was catfishing. She sets the hook on a fish, and I'm not kidding you. It is the biggest smallmouth I've ever seen in my life to this day. Comes up and jumps about 30 feet from mine and Kyle, or me and Kyle on Kyle's boat, and it jumps. And I am telling you, this thing it's 7 pound if it weighed an ounce. This is the biggest smallmouth I've ever seen in my life. Big old dark thing. It comes up and it's so big it can't even hardly jump. It's tail walking across the water. Kyle and I look at each other. I was like, did this really happen? This lady just catches the biggest smallmouth I've ever seen. And Kyle and I are laughing about it. And she makes about 3 cranks and it either pops her line or pops a hook or whatever, and it swims off. We never get to see it again. But it was the absolute biggest smallmouth I've ever seen in my entire life, no doubt. Any drop off over 6 to 8 inches is a great place for smallmouth. So we were catching fish this weekend in 4.5 to 6 foot of water, and that was it. If you got in closer than 4.5, you didn't catch them, and if you got past 6 foot of water, you weren't catching them. And what I really think is weird is that the water temperature up there is roughly the same as it is here. They must have had a bunch of warm weather since ice out. We're talking 50 degree water temperature, 52, 53, 54 at the highest we saw, which is crazy for St. Clair this time of year. And it's and it was a good time. We caught some fish. Looking back, hindsight's 2020. I wish I would have had my boat, because I have plenty of giant swim bait heads in there. I should have, I would have done things a little differently. But that's why they call it fishing and not catching. Congrats to Bradley and those guys. They absolutely smashed them. He caught a giant one, 6'3". That joker can catch fish in a mud hole, though. He's an awesome fisherman. And his buddy Ryan caught an absolute world-class muskie. I caught one too, but it wasn't as near as big as his. He caught an absolute world-class muskie. I'm talking the biggest thing I've personally ever seen in pictures. The stomach or the girth on this thing was stupid. It was like 50 some inches round at the belly. He said that he didn't weigh it, or didn't have a scale big enough to weigh it, but he said it was over 50 pounds, which is a massive deal. No, Warren, I don't. Hoping to have it back tomorrow or the next day. If you're just now joining in, insurance did cover my boat. It's at Freedom Outdoors right now. I did see the new lower unit there. They're putting some. So, weird thing, and this may help some of you guys out there that have E-Techs or other Rudes that this is the same way, is the part alone for my boat for the lower unit. A new OEM lower unit for my boat was $5,750. $5,750. And this daggone thing didn't even come with the drive shaft or an impeller or the 2 intake grates on the side of it. For $5,700, this thing did not come with parts that are crucial to rebuilding. And this is actually, no, if you look on their parts list, it says full lower unit assembly. It's a 2-piece drive shaft, upper drive shaft, and goes into the lower unit, which drives the main drive shaft and goes into the gimbal joint or the gimbal bearing, and then goes out the back prop shaft. The 2-piece part that goes into the motor, they didn't come with that. The shift shaft, you had to use the old stuff. Impeller, that there's a lot of stuff that blew my mind that didn't come with a $5,700 unit. Hindsight's 2020. I don't know if I would do this exact same thing, knowing what I know now about SEI. SEI or Stern Drive International make lower units that are turnkey, plug and play. They do not come with the impeller, so you have to put a new impeller in there. But they're about 1/6 of the cost and have a 3-year warranty. So yeah, Warren. It's I've lost 4 or 5 pounds from puking over the days. So again, I do want to thank Warren Armstead with State Farm and State Farm Insurance. They made things super, super nice for me. if you're in the market for boat insurance, guys, and this is not a plug for them from me, where I'm no way affiliated with them, I pay my premiums just like anywhere else, but it was literally a smooth process. Called them up. Hey, I had an accident on the lake. My girlfriend and I were fishing. I hit a rock, stumped something, tore up my lower unit. It is at the boat dealership in Freedom Outdoors. I need to make a claim. The lady on the phone was super nice. She's like, yeah, I'm sorry that you had this happen to you. Was anybody hurt in the accident? I said, no, luckily we made it out. You know, it wasn't that bad of an accident. We had something that just kind of screwed up the lower unit, which is a major part for my boat. And she was like, yeah, I get it. So she's like, I'll get you in touch with an insurance adjuster and we'll get you taken care of. And then the very next day, which was a Saturday, an insurance agent or an insurance adjuster gave me a call. And he's like, hey, my name is Lance. I'll be your insurance adjuster. A couple of things I need to get from you. I need to get some photos of the damage if you have them, and a quote from the dealer that you have it at that's going to be doing the repair. So I sent him 3 pictures of the damage, including the stuff internal, and I got a quote from Kevin Wells down at Freedom. He hooked me up with that stuff. I submitted the paperwork. The very next day, I didn't hear anything. So Monday, I didn't hear anything. I called him back. I said, hey, you know, I'm just trying to make sure I'm dotting all my I's and crossing all my T's, that you guys have everything you need from me. That way I can make it smooth on my end. And he's like, well, I got the photos, but I still don't have the quote. I said, well, that's weird. So I emailed the guy back the quote, and I said, hey, could you email me back and tell me that you got it or didn't within the hour? And if you don't, then I'll figure out a way to get to you differently than I'm doing now. So I got an email back from him about 10 minutes later from Lance saying, I got everything. Everything's good to go. I'll be, working on the claim here in the next few hours, and I'll be letting you know how to proceed from here. So at this point, I was looking at an SEI lower unit, which again is about $1,000, but I'm told by other people that have done them, they don't match up correctly, exactly right. They're just kind of like sandcast stuff, but they do work, and they do have a 3-year no questions asked warranty on them. So I was looking at that out of pocket, $1,000, because I didn't feel like most insurance companies, guys, will try to fight you on everything, because let's face it, that's how they make profit. If what they want you to do is keep shelling out these premiums and then never have a quote or never have a claim. Well, luckily, Lance, sent me an email back the next day, which was 12 hours later, roughly, and saying, hey, we got everything taken care of. Since you have you do direct debit for your bills here, I'm just going to submit a request here to direct deposit the money. So I have a $500 deductible. So less that, they sent me a check for $5,700 or whatever it was. I'm going to end up owing about $6,250 for everything. That's all the labor and everything, getting everything put back together. I have to fully take both of them apart, put parts from the old one back in the new one. But yeah, $6,250 later, I'm back on the road. But I'll take a $500 deductible for that. Smooth of a deal. Again, if you're looking for insurance out there, my advice, State Farm. And this has nothing to do with why I'm at State Farm, but if you're in the Dayton, Troy, Springfield area and you're looking for insurance, my best friend Kyle Malone is going to be an insurance agent through State Farm in Springfield, Ohio, and he will be able to write policies, next month, starting in May, I believe. So if you're in the market for boat insurance or any kind of insurance for that matter, and you're looking at State Farm, you're up that way in the Troy area or the Springfield, Ohio area, Kyle Malone's a guy to check out. Anyway, so fishing right now is going to get a lot more crazy for me because I'm going to be starting to fish a lot more when I have my boat. I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm going to be fishing a lot on the Ohio River just for the simple fact that it is very close for me. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos out there talking about the Ohio River. I'm going to be fishing Grayson, Yatesville. I'm going to be fishing some local club tournaments, going out and donating some money. We may end up fishing with Lewis County Luckers this weekend if I get my boat back, depending on the weather and how that goes. You can't go catch a 6-pounder with Brandon Buckner and them have a tournament there on the same lake and you not go out there and fish it if you can. So I'm going to go try it out. If you guys are looking for a place to fish this week, Lewis County Luckers is having a tournament this weekend. Again, if you're looking for a club, there's many in my area. 3 of them to name a few is Lewis County Luckers if you're down around the Vanceburg area or down that way, Olive Hill, and you want to fish some places. Those guys are good to look at. Lawrence County Bass Club, obviously, it goes without saying that those guys have a good thing going on. There's some absolute hammers that fish in there. And you have Pedro Bass Club. There's so many around here. You're gonna have, there's River Valley if you're down around Portsmouth. There's so many bass clubs. I think that there's like a Chubby Chasers Bass Club around the Jackson Lake area. I want to think that that George McCain runs that. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of different things that are going on. If you guys are looking out to get out and do some tournament fishing, or maybe you've never done it before, my advice to be for you to join a club and fish with those men and women and try to get a better handle with tournament fishing. But if you want to jump in and have a great time and not having to really worry about anything, I've made videos about this all the time. Jump in a pro level tournament as a co-angler. Start at the BFL level. If you can afford it, go into the Toyota Series. But BFL costs you $100 and some gas money. It's kind of an unwritten rule. Throw the angler or the boater a little bit of fuel money at the end of it. Costs you $100 plus your licenses as you're going to be fishing, travel expenses and things. But if you travel with somebody, it's a fairly easy process to get done. Take a few rods and some baits, go fishing with people. You get to learn. You also don't have to worry about that fishing. You don't have to worry about having all the nicest gear, because people that fish those things usually do have super nice boats and things. So you get to fish a lot of different water, a lot of different ways. In a lot of different equipment. I fished in pretty much every boat out there. I fished in Bullets, Bass Cats, Nitros. I fished in a Phoenix. I fished. I've ridden in a Camus that Drew Sadler has. I've been able to fish a lot. I got to the point now where I've narrowed it down. If I ever, get to the point where my YouTube channel is up, and producing money, like I think it's going to eventually, and I buy a new boat, I think I'm going to be looking at a Camus. I love Kyle's Nitro, but I guarantee you whatever I do, it's going to be powered with a new Mercury 250 Pro XS 4-stroke. The thing's just phenomenal on power and torque. You step on the throttle and it just goes. You're up on plane before you know it. Might be looking at a Phoenix too. There's a few things that I like and I don't like about those boats. Camus, again, I've only ridden in one. I'm going to do my research and things. Their Ranger price, you're looking at 70 plus 75,000 if you get the 21. It depends on how you rig it out. It's a lot of dough. Kyle and I were talking about that going up to St. Clair this past weekend. Is like it's a second mortgage, no matter how you look at it. So, trying to figure out if I like fishing that much, to be honest with you. I do love it, but it's a ton of money. Big time commitment, big commitment on money when that comes into. But right now, my Stratus is getting ready to be fixed. I'm ready to put that bad thing back on the water. Got a couple more videos coming out here very soon. One of my top producing videos on YouTube ever is how to clean boat carpet. Well, I'm going to have a series here coming up, how to clean my boat. It is absolutely the dirtiest it's ever been in its entirety of its life since I've owned it. There's mud on the carpet. There's water stains. Like, it is disgusting. Just for the simple fact is I fished 3 or 4 tournaments at the beginning of the year. Then my lower unit went out and it's been sitting outside Freedom with the cover on it for this makes the 3rd week now. But anyway, when I get it back, I'm going to do some videos showing you guys how to clean that up a little bit. So, Fred, I understand that. And that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to work on now, is that I have to get into the mindset that it is just money. And I keep telling myself that all the time. And I have this mantra, this motto to live by, and it's true to an extent, that I've never seen a hearse with a trailer hitch or a luggage rack. I don't have kids, and I don't plan on having kids. It's just a personal choice for mine and Misty. But, so it's not that I have to leave a nest egg for anybody. Matter of fact, I don't know who's going to end up my stuff when I die. Who knows? I'm sure it'll be somebody, my buddy's kids or whatever. But the issue is that, like, right now I'm trying to get to the situation where I have my boat paid off. So my boat right now, I don't have any kind of, I pay very little bit a month for my boat, but I owe about $5,000 on my boat left. So when I get it paid off, I may be looking at that, because I figure my boat is probably worth about $15,000 or a little more. It may be a little more, depending on who you sell it to. It's a 2006 Stratus 201 Pro XL with a Evinrude E-Tech 250 and with a brand new lower unit on it now. So I don't know if that changes the price of it anymore, but the electronics are decent. They're 6-inch Humminbirds and things. But I think the best thing for me to do is I like my boat. It doesn't have all the storage I would like. It doesn't have the deck like a Nitro or a Camus or a Vexus or any of the newer boats have. But it does ride good. It does handle well in big water. It's just the motor that scares me. So I don't know if it's going to be one of those deals where I spend money on a new boat and upgrade, or if I just upgrade the one I have. So I am working on that. I'm still right now looking at buying a 12-inch graph for my boat. I was looking at that before my lower unit went crap. So now that now that State Farm has taken care of that for me, we are back on the water, and I still have most of the dough that I've saved up for the 12-inch graph. So I may have one of those very, very soon. But anyway, guys, I don't want to keep you guys on here much longer. We've been under about a half hour. I don't have much to share with you guys. Went to St. Clair, caught some fish. Be looking out for some new videos coming down the pike from me. I'm trying my best right now. I'm getting to the point where my job is finally getting to a point where it's smoothing out like a teaching job should. And I'm getting back into the groove and the hang of things where things are just now working out as they should be in real life for me. The kids are doing their work. I'm getting in a groove. COVID year can kiss my rear end for a lot of reasons, but I'll be glad to get rid of masks and things when I get back to school next year, hopefully. But right now, the reason I say that is that my goal is over the summer is to produce 3 videos a week. I'm going to do a live show on Tuesday and produce 2 other videos, whether it be fishing related or fishing content, fishing knowledge related, 3 a week for the entirety of the 3 months that I am off. So that is a huge goal, pushing to that 4,000 subscriber mark that I got going on here. Again, I'm gaining about 50 to 75 a month. I need to boost that to about 125 a month to hit my goal of 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So anything that you guys could do to help out with that, I would appreciate it. Quick shout out to Donnie Evans. Man, I'm sorry if you're out there watching that it took me so long to get that JB's fish sauce to you that you won like months ago. To be honest with you, I don't know what happened. And then, I'm glad you sent me a message about it. It is in the mail. I sent it in the mail yesterday. I know you live in Portsmouth area, and they said it's going to be there Thursday. I was like, I could have walked it there by Thursday. But anyway, it's on its way. It will be there. New bottle of pinch of garlic and some crawfish I think I sent you. But it's there. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know how it does. But anyway, guys, if you guys haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would appreciate it if you would. And if you guys want to see some content or talk about some people that you'd like to see on this show, the next show we're going to have somebody else on here that we can talk to and ask questions to. I'm not sure who that's going to be yet. Somebody local or whoever I can get in. We're just going to talk fishing and have some fun. If you guys know any idea or have any idea what you guys would like to see on here as far as live comments or live topics so we can talk about fishing, I will do my best to try to get people that know all about that. I do want to talk about GoPros and how to set them up on a live video because I've had a lot of people ask me, but just to give you guys an idea of what I do, and I'm going to I did a video series on showing this is how this is done on my YouTube channel, setting up a GoPro for looping. And just to figure out how that's going on is that, or what happens is that if you put 128 gig card in a YouTube or in a GoPro, when you hit record, it'll just sit there and eat up that entire 128 gig card, recording every minute of the day. You're going to quickly find out that's really cool because you can capture everything that happens on the water. However, if you're into editing video like I am, it gets to the point where it's so monotonous where you look through solid hours of fish catches or non-fish catches to find 1 or 2 catches that you have. Really frustrating, ton of work. Set up your GoPros and any action cameras if they have it for a looping feature. 5-minute intervals are plenty. It records 5 minutes at a time, and then when it gets to that end of that 5 minutes, it goes back and creates, basically, it's like a snake eating its own tail. It's an infinite loop. So it goes over and starts re-recording over that first minute, and it'll keep looping those 5 minutes until you either press the top of the button to stop the GoPro, or my favorite way is using voice commands saying GoPro stop recording and then GoPro start recording. So what happens is when you do that, it saves the last 5 minutes of what happened in the world there with your GoPros. Normally what happens is it seems like it takes forever, but normally the last minute that you've lived and you caught those fish is basically when all the action happens. So you can go through there and dig through those 5 1-minute clips to find the action that you want to create videos. Very, very easy. Yeah, so Dusty was at Lake Fork with a guide. They didn't do very well, man. I hate that for you guys. They caught like 2 fish all day on Lake Fork, and that is a brutal day when you're on one of the best fisheries on the planet. But that's the thing. So I don't know that it would have made any difference, but it may have. He was saying that they would eat the Sinkos they were throwing, and it would they weren't just committing. They were just short striking or whatever, and they had a couple get off, but the fish that were biting weren't eating it like they should. And I think that some of the jelly or the mist may have changed that, because it gives them a want to eat it. It tastes just like eating a fish now, instead of whatever that's on the bait. So man, I hate it that you guys didn't catch them down there. Really, really do. So anyway, guys, we're about 40 minutes into it. I'm not going to keep you on here any longer because don't have many topics to talk about. But stay tuned for new videos coming out on the YouTube channel very soon. We're going to have one coming up tomorrow talking about the trip to Lake St. Clair, and you can see some of the fish we caught. Looking forward to my June trip up there. We're going to be catching fish. Hopefully they're not on the beds. I'm hoping they're either moving up on the beds or off of the beds by then, but I think it's going to be more like they're probably going to be on them. Which is okay. I don't try to beat them up in there. I know it's not the best thing in the world to go in there and beat them up on the beds, but they are, quick catch and release, immediately release there during that time of year. So they're going back down their beds. And I think it's okay for that. So what's up, Jeremy? What's going on, buddy? But anyway, guys, like I said, I don't have much to talk about today. I appreciate you guys joining in. If you guys have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would appreciate it if you would. Share it with your friends. Lie to them. Be like, hey, this guy produces quality content and he can catch them. Just lie to them. Little white lies do not matter. They do not matter. Corey Weaver, nice. Thanks for joining in. Dude, I'm telling you, this stuff right here is going to be a major player in my boat. We talked about it. I love the consistency of the jelly. It's a little hard in the mornings if it's cold, but it still comes out of this thing very, very nicely. 60 degrees. I accidentally left it setting out in the sun, and it didn't go completely liquid. It was still had some consistency to it, so I was super pumped about that. JB's fish sauce jelly going to be available in the pinch of garlic very, very soon. I don't know, man. I've been known to luck into one every now and again. I like catch a fish, but I enjoy creating a deal with you guys and creating a community of anglers. We all like the same thing. We're all addicted to the same thing. Tug is the drug, right? I don't care if you're bluegill fishing, you're out there catching 80-pound blue cats at a pay lake, or you're out catching largemouth or smallmouth or spotted bass. I don't care what it is. Catching fish is what it's all about. It's very, very, very addicting. I saw a meme. I wish I'd have come up with it, because I would probably make a t-shirt out of it and make $1 million, but it had a bluegill on it, and it said the gateway drug to bass fishing, or any fishing really. So you know how it is. You watch that bobber go down with that waxworm on it, you set the hook, and you catch a bluegill this big, it is over for the rest of your life. I'm always constantly looking for that next biggest fish. And I just about broke my PB at Lake St. Clair this past week. My PB is 7. Yeah, not 7. I wish it was 7. But I thought it was 5.3. I thought my PB was 5.3, and it's apparently not. I looked back through my Facebook memories today, because I caught that fish today 4 years ago, and it was 5.1. But I swear I've caught bigger fish than that in BFLs. I know I've caught one 5.3, 5.4, but I don't weigh them individually usually. They get weighed as a whole bag, and I've never had one big enough to weigh as a big bass. So I don't know. So I don't know exactly what my PB smallmouth is, but officially it's 5'1". I caught a 4.99 this past weekend. I'm going to catch a 5-pounder. I'm going to beat my PB this year. I'm just going to call it. Hoping to hit that 7-pound, or hoping to hit that 6-pound mark, which was a goal from last year. Fred, I appreciate your kind words, man. And that's the deal. My show is 100% kid friendly. I encourage you to watch, have your kids and stuff watch my content. Dropped a cuss word for the first time, I think, ever in my channel last week. And I had some of my students at my high school call me out before it, and rightly so. Because the deal is that we like to talk about fishing, and the adult stuff can stay in the adult world where it should be anyway. We like to catch fish, and I like to introduce kids to fishing and try to get that as well. Speaking of which, before I let you guys go, I have 2 Shimano Rod and Reels that are coming in. They are absolute amazing rods for the price. They're like $19 retail, and they have full cork handles. It is absolutely crazy to me that these things are this good. And I bought some 2-piece rods, but I bought some cheap Shimano reels and these 2 rods to keep in my boat, because it never fails, man, that I pull up to a boat ramp after fishing all day and I see some kids there like tying some fishing line to a twig, right? And they're trying to catch a bluegill with this stick. I was there. We were all there at one point. And again, it's that love for fishing that happens. But I bought these 2 rods that will be coming in very soon. I hope. Shimano is crazy right now with ship times. But I have these 2 rods in my boat just for the simple fact when I see kids doing that, I'm going to give these rod and reels away. I have literally less than $30 in the whole entire setup, so it's not like I'm out of a ton of money. But to see a kid's eyes light up because they got a new Shimano rod and reel, that will be all worth it. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining On Another Line Live. Again, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tyler Waller. You can find me on all social media platforms with the name, just like this name here, On Another Line. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, obviously, and that's all I have right now. But I don't need any more than that. I'm not going to go any deeper than that. But if you guys have TikTok and you don't follow me over there, same deal, add On Another Line. I'm about that 1,000 follower mark there. I'm looking to get 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you can share my content to make that happen, I'd appreciate it. Anything that you can do to help me out. If I can do anything to help you guys out there, and again, shout out to everybody that sent me messages on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wanting to take me fishing while my boat's down. Thank you for that. That's what this is all about. And I'm going to return the favor. If you guys want to go fishing and you see me fishing by myself and you want to go, shoot me a message. Hey, are you going fishing? Can I go with you? Absolutely, you can. I'm going to go fishing anyway. We'll go fishing. You can use some of my, if you don't have the gear, I have plenty of gear. And I can put, and the cool thing about fishing with me is I have a lot of high-end gear and the reason that is to take people fishing and show them why I like Shimano and G Loomis and why I fish these high-end things and why it makes a difference. So, hey, David Howard, what's up, buddy? What's up, John? Man, thanks for joining. Yeah, so I'm right around. So I know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest one I've ever had on a scale that I could physically see the scale weight was 5'1", and that was 4 years ago today at Lake St. Clair. Misty and I pulled up on a hammer hole. This time of year throwing crankbaits, and they were just absolutely smashing them. There was one rock pile. I would drift over it. I don't have spot lock. Matter of fact, spot lock wasn't really even a thing. It was brand new at that point. I didn't have power poles. We're fishing shallow water. We would just go up and drift. I didn't have a drift sock. I knew nothing about Lake St. Clair. I went up there, found this one rock pile, drifted across this one rock pile probably 200 times throughout the day. I would trolling motor up past it, let the wind drift through, throw 1.5s over this one same rock pile. You would feel sand. So basically nothing. And then you would feel that 1.5 ticking off rocks. And then instantaneously you would just get absolutely smoked. And Misty and I sat there all day and caught fish after fish after fish after fish after fish. She was throwing a DT6 on a spinning rod, which she ended up catching her PB there, which was well over 4 pounds, about 4.5 pounds, somewhere in there, which is a hammer. I would love to catch one that big all the time. But she, we had an absolute favorite time there. But I know I've caught bigger smallmouth than that. I caught 2 giants in Canadian water on a BFL with a fella that took me over there on this one rock pile. Caught them on a bubblegum pink Ned rig, and they were absolutely massive. I don't know how big they were. I didn't weigh them individually, but they were. I had 5 fish for almost 21 pound in a BFL, and I had one that was only about 3 pounds. So there was some that was over 5 pounds. I don't know how big over 5 pounds. They weren't 6, I can tell you that. But looking for that 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", 6 pounds, 7 pound. Bradley Saunders caught a 7 pounder. He calls it Senorita 7, but he got that up in the UP, I believe, of the Michigan up in that way, Traverse City up that way, but a big giant hammer. Again, David, thanks for joining. Yeah, so again, JB's Fish Sauce. This is not even available on their website, but this will be soon. This is a tester version. This is a 1 ounce version stuff. But again, if you guys are just now joining or want to join or get some things from JB's Fish Sauce, OALL20, that is letter O, OALL, on another line live. 20 will save you 20% off everything you get from JB's Fish Sauce. I don't get a quarter from these guys. I don't promote their material because everything you buy, I get kickbacks, nothing like that. I just like it. The stuff really works. The pinch of garlic is my proprietary blend, and we've worked that out in the past. Yeah, dude. Like Fred, so Misty likes to fish just as much, if not more than I do. And that's the cool part about it is I've been able to fish. So she's been able to fish some really good fisheries with me because I like traveling around and trying new places. So she was with me the very first time I went to St. Clair, and we pulled up on this one rock pile. It's to this day, don't know how we did it. I was like, this looks like a good spot. And knowing what I know now, we shouldn't have caught him. We shouldn't have caught him. I don't know why the smallmouth get up that close or that early. I'm talking we were fishing 3 to 5 foot range, and I don't know why they push up that shallow unless they're chasing bait fish or whatever. But anyway, we pulled up on this one rock pile, and it was total luck of the draw. I throw a crankbait, which I throw a crankbait this time until my arm flew off. I never caught a stinking fish on it, so it's just luck of the draw. Threw it out, found these rocks, got smoked. But the thing about that is we fished on Saturday. This was on a weekday. We got there like Tuesday or something. Fished Tuesday, could not find a smallmouth. And guys, if you've ever been to Lake St. Clair, if you can't find a smallmouth on Lake St. Clair, you're throwing the wrong bait or you're in the wrong spot. If you make 20 casts on a spot and you can't catch them, you should change baits. And if you change baits a couple times and you can't catch them, you're probably not in the right spot. Move until you find one. I know that now. I didn't know that then. It's the first time I ever went there. I found this one rock pile, and I'm not kidding you, it was no bigger than probably the size of like a car. There's probably 30 chunk rocks in this one little spot. But they just kept reloading, man, all day, every day. We were sitting there and just fish after fish after fish. But yeah, she got some giants there. Her PB largemouth is actually a hammer, man. She got a 5 pounder down at Lake Chickamauga 2 years. I think it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, first time we were ever at Chick. Mark Hickey gave me some spots to try. So shout out to him. He's like, try these spots out. Done all right, done decent. One of them was in Sale Creek, caught some fish down there. And then he told me about another spot, and we just kept fishing this thing. And Misty threw a swing head jig with a KVD rodent out. I missed a fish on a jerk bait, and I still to this day don't know how fish can swipe at something that has 3 of the sharpest hooks on the planet on it, still not get hooked. But anyway, I missed a fish. I was like, I just missed a fish, cast out there. So she throws out there. It hits the water. She jigs it a couple times, smokes this thing. She sets the hook, and like it was like the fight was on. So she's reeling it on the spinning rods because that's all she uses. She's reeling this 5 pounder. It jumps, and the only thing I see is mouth this big, and I'm thinking it's an 8 to 10 pounder because we're at Chickamauga. This thing jumps, so I'm running back to get the net, and finally it comes up. And it's just burning the drag off of the spinning reel. So she finally gets it up. I net it. I was like, this is still an absolute hammer. I was like, I figure it was a big fish. It was a little over 5 pounds, 5'1" or something. So her PB smallmouth is 4.5 pounds. PB largemouth is 5. It's over 5. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so man, like Virginia, there's some places down there like Smith Mountain. I think they have some hammer smallmouth there. You can probably catch a 6 pound spot down there in Smith Mountain, I'd say. Pretty good deal. But anyway, guys, if you want to get out there and try some JB's fish sauce, OALL20 will get you 20% off of that. And again, that I don't make any money off of that. That's not me. You know, you're not padding my pockets by any means. Stuff I talk about stuff that I believe in here. JB's fish sauce, pinch of garlic is my proprietary blend. It is a blend of crawfish and garlic scents, real crude fish oils, not made like there's no kind of like bad stuff in here. Goes in the water. It's not going to be anything that's going to be, one thing I want to tell you, when you put this on the water, you're going to see an oil slick on top of the water. That is because it has real crude fish oils packed in all their products. So that's what you're going to see. That's not like a petroleum-based product or anything, so don't get crazy with that. You're basically creating a chum slick for fish to follow to your bait. It's not going to hurt anything. That's why I have it. Dude, like, so the Poison Adrenal line, I love the Loomis line. I love the NRX. I have a Conquest too. The Adrena series right now, I'm not gonna lie to you, are my favorite rod series that I own, and that's chosen over an NRX. That's chosen over a Loomis and Shimano Conquest. We're talking a $750 rod. We're talking a $675 rod. My favorite rods right now on the planet are the Adrena series, the Shimano Adrena. They're the highest priced USA model of Poison Adrena that you can get. I'm still trying to get my hands on like a Poison Ultima, which is a JDM model. I'm not going to fork out the entirety of that. Like the Poison Ultima, I think is like a $800 rod in Japan. There's no way I could potentially do that, nor would I ever. But the Poison Adrena is absolutely my favorite rod series to fish. I have a 611 medium heavy spinning rod. I have the 7.2 heavy casting. I have the 7.3 medium heavy casting. And I have the 611, the 1611 medium plus. And absolutely, I threw the medium plus a bunch this past week on the jerkbait. That's cool, John. Yeah, down that way. I have a buddy that lives down there and has an actual a cabin down there. He keeps telling me to come down and fish, and I may just take him up on that. But anyway, guys, I've been on here about 57 minutes. Appreciate you guys joining on Another Line live for this episode. If you guys haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd appreciate it if you would share my content. We're trying to get to that 4,000 subscriber mark, and I cannot do it without you all out there. And let's make some content together. Have a challenge coming up very soon with Glenn Walker from Lure Lock. We're going to be doing a YouTube video series challenge where I'm going to fish my home lake. He's going to fish his home lake. And we're going to create a video of a challenge trying to catch the biggest and most bass in one day of our home lake. So keep in mind, you guys will be seeing that on his channel as well as mine. You'll see my perspective on my channel. I'll link to his channel in my bio or in the description. Same with him. So guys, appreciate you guys joining in for this episode. I've said that 15 times. I hope you guys have a great night. Wait on some videos coming from me this week. We have a St. Clair video coming out tomorrow. And I'll be talking about a new medium diving crankbait setup that I have, which is a Loomis IMX Pro 866 CBR DF, Deep Flex. It's a really cool rod. It's a really thin rod. It has a really cool flex to it. And I have that paired up with a 70 series Corrado. And it's turned out to be a phenomenal rig for medium diving crankbait. Something around that DT6 to maybe like I don't know, I guess a 5XD. I don't know if you'd throw a 5XD, maybe a 3XD, like that 5 to 8, 12, maybe even 15-foot range diving. Pretty cool stuff. I'll be having a video coming out with that. We're going to have a giveaway here soon. Going to be partnering with Jacob Crappy Fishing to do a giveaway. A lot of stuff that's coming up there, including some JB's fish sauce. And my goal is this, guys. Once I hit 4,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a huge giveaway. And by huge giveaway, I mean I'm going to give away a super high-end Shimano or Loomis rod. It's either going to be an Adrena, IMX Pro, NRX. It's going to be something like that. And those of you guys that are subscribed or new subscribers will have the ability to win that. No questions asked. I will ship it on my dime to you a $350 to $700 rod that could be yours. So help me get to that 400,000 subscriber mark, and we'll get that thing going. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining this episode of On Another Line. As always, if you can, get out there and lean on them. We'll see you next time on Another Line.